You didn't land here by accident. Even if you think you were just scrolling or clicking randomly, something deeper brought you here. It might have been a feeling, a tug, or just a quiet voice inside telling you to listen. And that feeling wasn't wrong. You're here because something inside you is ready to wake up, something powerful that's been buried for a long time. This message you're about to receive is not just information. It's something you've been waiting for, even if you didn't realize it until now. Inside you, there's a force, real and alive. It's not a fantasy. It's not just motivation or a spiritual idea. It's the power to heal yourself, to shift the way you think, feel, and experience life. This power has always been there, but most of us were never taught how to use it. We were told to focus only on the outside world, to fix problems by working harder, trying more, or relying on luck. But real change begins from within. That's the truth that's been hidden from us. Right now, as you read this, your energy is active. You might not be able to see it, but it's working in every moment of your life. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they all carry a certain energy. That energy sends signals into the world around you. These signals are what shape your reality. They influence the kinds of people you meet, the opportunities that come your way, and even the problems that show up again and again. It might sound strange at first, but when you really think about it, you'll realize it makes sense. Think of it like this. Every thought you have sends out a frequency, just like a radio station. When you repeat that thought over and over, that frequency gets stronger. When you feel something deeply, like joy, fear, or sadness, that feeling also sends out energy. All of these thoughts and emotions build a kind of invisible field around you. This is your vibrational field. It's always moving, always broadcasting, and the world around you responds to it. Now, here's where things get interesting. The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you truly believe and feel at your core. You might want a better job, more money, a loving relationship, or better health. But if deep down you believe that you're not good enough, or that life is always a struggle, that hidden belief becomes your vibration. That's what the universe hears. And that's what it reflects back to you. So when you see the same struggles repeating in your life, like toxic relationships, financial difficulties, or health problems, it's not just bad luck. It's not just the world being unfair. It's your energy field calling in experiences that match what you're putting out. This doesn't mean you're to blame or that you're doing something wrong. It simply means you haven't been aware of the energy you're sending out. And once you become aware, you can change it. This awareness is your first step to freedom. Because if you are creating your experiences through your energy, then you also have the power to create something new. You're not stuck. You're not broken. You're not powerless. You're just learning how to use a tool that's always been inside you. Many ancient cultures knew about this. They understood that energy is the foundation of everything. The teachings of Thoth, an ancient figure of wisdom, speak of this knowledge, how energy, frequency, and vibration shape reality. These teachings were passed down through generations, hidden in symbols and sacred texts, because they held incredible power. Today, more people are starting to rediscover these truths. Even modern science is catching up, with studies in quantum physics beginning to explore how thoughts and energy influence outcomes. But it's not enough to just know this. You have to feel it. You have to practice it. Because the energy you carry isn't just about what you think in your mind. It's shaped by what you believe deep in your heart, what you hold in your body, and what you repeat every day, consciously or not. If you keep telling yourself stories of failure, pain, or limitation, those stories become part of your energy field, and your reality follows. That's why some people stay stuck, even when they try to change. They say affirmations, they visualize, they set goals. But if they're doing all that while still carrying fear, self-doubt, or guilt in their vibration, then they're sending mixed signals. The stronger vibration wins. And most of the time, it's the unconscious one, the one you're not even aware you're sending out. This is where the real work begins. Not by forcing yourself to be positive or pretending everything is okay, but by becoming truly aware of what you're feeling, what you're believing, and how that energy is shaping your world. It's about noticing the patterns and understanding where they came from. Many of your beliefs were picked up in childhood, shaped by your environment, your family, your past experiences. They weren't always chosen by you, but they became part of you. Now, you get to choose again. You might ask, how do I change it? It starts with awareness. Start paying attention to how you feel throughout the day. Notice your thoughts, especially the ones that repeat. Ask yourself, do these thoughts support the life I want to live? Or do they keep me stuck in fear, doubt, or lack? When you catch yourself in negative thinking, don't judge yourself. Just notice it. That's the first step to changing the signal. Next, connect with your body. Your body stores emotions. When you ignore your feelings, they don't just go away, they stay in your energy field. Give yourself time and space to feel what's really going on inside. This might mean journaling, meditating, breathing deeply, or simply being quiet and still for a few moments. These practices help clear stuck energy and bring your vibration into balance. Then, begin to choose new beliefs. Not just surface level thoughts, but deep truths you want to live by. Things like, I am worthy, I am safe, I am powerful. When you repeat these and truly feel them, your energy begins to shift. Over time, your vibration changes, and the world around you begins to reflect that. You'll also need to protect your energy, because as your light grows, there will be things, people, situations, thoughts that try to drain it. This is what Thoth called the invisible traps of energy exchange. Sometimes, without knowing it, we allow others to pull from our energy. We give too much. We say yes when we mean no. We take on problems that aren't ours. All of this weakens our field. That's why it's important to create energetic boundaries. You don't have to isolate yourself, but you do need to be clear about what you allow into your space. Protect your peace. Guard your joy, not out of fear, but out of self-respect. Your energy is sacred. When you treat it that way, others will too. This journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you truly are. The you that existed before the fear, the pain, the limits. The you that's connected to everything. The you that holds light, power, and wisdom. That part of you never left. It's just been waiting for the right moment to come alive again. And that moment is now. This isn't a one-time experience. It's a path, a process. Some days will feel easy. Others may feel like you're slipping backward. That's okay. What matters is that you keep choosing to return to your power, your truth, your vibration. Keep tuning in, adjusting, and growing. The more you do, the more your outer world begins to transform. Things that once felt hard start to flow. Relationships shift. New doors open. Not because of luck, but because you changed your energy. And your energy changes everything. You are not here by chance. You were led here by a force greater than coincidence. Call it energy, spirit, the universe, whatever name feels right to you. But know this, it brought you here because you're ready. Ready to see, to feel, to remember, and to create. Ready to live with intention and vibrate with clarity. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a creator of your reality. And the time to step into that truth is now. Imagine for a moment that your body isn't just physical, it's also energetic. You carry your own energy, like a personal field or atmosphere that surrounds you all the time. But you don't live in isolation. You're constantly moving through a world filled with other energies too. Every place you visit, every person you interact with, every environment you step into brings you into contact with vibrations that aren't your own. You may not see them, but these invisible forces are always around. With each interaction, there's a quiet exchange happening beneath the surface. You don't have to say a word or even be aware of it. This exchange is subtle but powerful. Now, picture walking into a room filled with people. No one speaks, no one even looks at you, but you still feel something. Maybe you sense tension or sadness or even restlessness in the air. That's because energy is always speaking, even in silence. Emotions don't need voices to be felt. They move through the air like invisible waves. And just by being there, you pick up on them. You breathe in that energy. You connect with that field. You absorb parts of it without even trying. Suddenly, you may feel tired or agitated or low for no obvious reason. It can be confusing, like your mood just changed without warning. That's not your imagination. It's real. We all absorb energy from people, places, and situations. Some places hold more of this energy than others. Think of hospitals where people are in pain or fear, or old houses that have witnessed a lot of life, some joyful, some traumatic, or cemeteries where grief lingers. These places don't just echo with memories, they hold energetic imprints. That energy doesn't just disappear, it soaks into the space, staying behind like invisible layers. And when someone walks through who's open or unaware, that energy latches on. If you're not careful, you become a sponge, soaking up energies that aren't yours and carrying them with you. Without noticing, you take that energy into your home. It sticks to your thoughts, your emotions, even your physical body. Maybe you find yourself feeling drained for no reason, or your mind feels scattered, or you start feeling emotions that don't seem to belong to you. These are signs you've picked up something that isn't yours. And the more sensitive or empathetic you are, the more this happens. It's not about weakness, it's about openness. Sensitivity means you're more tuned in, but that also means you need to be more aware of what you're allowing in. What's important to understand is that most of this isn't happening because people want to harm you. In fact, a lot of energy draining isn't intentional. Many people walk around completely disconnected from their own inner source of energy. They feel empty, lost, or low, and without realizing it, they start drawing energy from others to fill that void. It's like someone who's starving. They grab whatever they can to feel full, even if it comes from someone else. They may not even know they're doing it. But if you're the one they're drawing from, you feel the effects. You leave a conversation with them feeling tired, emotionally flat, or even irritable, and you might not know why. This happens a lot in relationships too, especially ones where the emotional balance is off. You may notice patterns where one person always needs help, attention, or support, and the other always gives, fixes, or sacrifices. Over time, this becomes draining for both sides. The giver starts feeling used up, while the receiver never truly learns to stand on their own. It's an unbalanced exchange that wears both people down. And because it's based on unconscious energy dynamics, it keeps repeating until someone becomes aware enough to break the cycle. But it's not just people who affect your energy. Technology plays a big role too. Social media is one of the biggest hidden energy drains of our time. Every time you scroll through your feed, you're bombarded with other people's thoughts, emotions, stories, arguments, and opinions. You see people's highs and lows, their wins and losses, their pain and joy. Even if you're just observing, your energy is reacting. You get pulled into comparison, into emotional reactions, into mental chaos. You might feel envy, irritation, sadness, or pressure. And even though you haven't physically done anything, you leave the app feeling tired, scattered, or emotionally overloaded. That's energy leakage, giving out energy without getting anything real in return. The problem is, most people don't know any of this is happening. If you don't understand that your energy is constantly being affected, you don't know how to protect it. You walk through life with your energetic doors wide open, allowing anything and everything in. And the more spiritually sensitive or emotionally aware you become, the more you feel these effects. You might think something's wrong with you, when really, you're just feeling the weight of everything you've unknowingly picked up. That's why it's so important to learn how to take care of your energy. It's not just about protecting yourself from negative people or stressful environments. It's about recognizing that your energy is your most valuable resource. You need to know how to keep it strong, clear, and focused. And this begins with two simple, yet incredibly powerful practices: presence and intention. Presence is about being here fully and completely in the moment. It means pulling your attention away from the past and future and bringing it back to now. When you're present, you're grounded. Your energy is anchored. You're not scattered in thoughts or lost in worries. Most of us spend our days mentally elsewhere, thinking about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. But while our minds wander, our energy leaks. We become more vulnerable to outside influence. Being present closes those leaks. It helps your energy field hold its shape. And then there's intention. Intention is the conscious choice to direct your energy where you want it to go. It's not just about wanting something or hoping things will change. It's about choosing, deciding what you're focusing on, what energy you're sending out, and what energy you're allowing in. When you combine intention with presence, you gain the ability to guide your energy instead of letting the world shape it for you. For example, think about touching someone's hand. If you do it absent-mindedly, it's just a physical act. There's no real energy behind it. But if you pause, take a breath, and put your heart into the gesture, if you really intend to offer comfort or love, that simple touch becomes powerful. The other person can feel it, even if no words are spoken. That's the power of presence and intention working together. It creates a real, living energy connection. This same principle applies to everything you do. When you're fully present in your life, and when you move with intention, your energy becomes focused, strong, and magnetic. You stop being a sponge for everyone else's emotions. You stop leaking energy into things that don't serve you. You begin to feel more like yourself, more whole, more steady, more in control. You don't need to become an expert in energy or spirituality to start doing this. You just need to practice paying attention. Notice how you feel after certain interactions or in specific places. Notice where your energy goes during the day. Ask yourself, is this mine or did I pick it up somewhere? Begin to make small choices to stay present and to choose your intentions. Before you scroll social media, ask what you're looking for. Before you walk into a crowded space, take a breath and center yourself. Before you engage in a draining conversation, remind yourself you can stay open-hearted without giving your entire energy away. With practice, you'll start to feel the difference. You'll become more resilient, more energized, more clear. You'll be able to walk through the world without absorbing everything around you. You'll feel stronger in yourself, more protected, and more aligned. This is the start of a powerful shift from reacting unconsciously to living with purpose. The world isn't going to stop spinning with emotion, stress, or chaos, but you can choose how much of it touches you. And the more you understand energy, the way it moves, the way it sticks, the way it's shared, the better you can care for your own. This isn't about isolation or fear. It's about awareness. It's about remembering that your energy matters, and you have the power to protect it, guide it, and use it to create a life that feels good to you. You don't need special tools, secret rituals, or complex techniques to change your life. What you truly need is to slow down, become aware of what's happening inside you, and learn how to guide your energy. It sounds simple, but we've been taught to ignore this. From a young age, many of us are conditioned to stay busy all the time, doing, fixing, achieving. Our society praises constant action and productivity. But in all that noise and motion, we often lose touch with ourselves. Think about it. Your mind might be thinking one thing, your heart feeling another, and your body doing something entirely different. That's a common experience, but it also means your inner energy is scattered. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions aren't in sync, you end up feeling confused, tired, or stuck. This lack of alignment weakens your energy and makes it harder to feel grounded or clear. When you begin to bring those parts of yourself together, your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations, something powerful starts to happen. You become more present. You feel more connected, and your energy becomes stronger, more focused. This is what's called a coherent field, and it simply means your whole system is working together instead of pulling in different directions. A coherent energy field creates strength, clarity, and balance. Here's where it gets interesting. Everything that happens in your outer world, your relationships, your work, your health, starts from something invisible. It begins with your emotions, your beliefs, your thoughts, and finally shows up in the actions you take. Physical reality is not the starting point. It's the end result. Imagine your life is like an iceberg floating in the ocean. What you can see above the surface is just a small part, the visible part of your life. Your job, your relationships, your habits. But underneath the water is a massive foundation that you don't see. Your feelings, your beliefs, your thoughts, your memories. That hidden part is what holds everything up. If you only try to change your life by adjusting what's on the surface, your actions or behaviors, you're only shifting the tip of the iceberg. Without changing the base underneath, real transformation doesn't last. This is why people often feel frustrated. They try to create change by forcing themselves to think positively, by following routines, or by chasing success. But they don't look at the beliefs they carry deep down or the emotions that are stuck. If your internal world doesn't shift, your external world keeps reflecting the same patterns. Your inner world gives off a vibration, a kind of invisible frequency. That vibration comes from your feelings, thoughts, and beliefs. And this energy begins to shape your experiences. For example, if you carry a lot of fear inside, you might try to act confident on the outside, but your energy still draws in situations that feed that fear. Or if you carry a deep belief that you're not good enough, you may try to chase success, but something always seems to get in the way. This is not some magical or mystical idea. It's simply how energy works. What you carry inside attracts things that match that energy. This is called vibrational alignment. What you put out is what you get back, not because the universe is rewarding or punishing you, but because your vibration acts like a magnet. So when people talk about manifesting or creating your reality, it's not about making things appear out of thin air. It's about learning how to tune your inner state. It's about becoming more aware of what you're vibrating, your emotions, beliefs, and thoughts, so you can shift them, and in doing so, shift your life. But here's the truth. Just understanding this idea isn't enough. Reading about it or thinking about it won't change your vibration. You have to experience it. You need to go inside and find the places where your energy is blocked, where past pain, fear, or limiting beliefs are still stuck, and begin to release them. These stuck patterns are like knots in a rope. They stop energy from flowing freely. When you start to work with these stuck places, even in small ways, something begins to shift. You might feel lighter, clearer, calmer. You start to see changes not just in how you feel, but in how life responds to you. Opportunities start to show up. People treat you differently. things begin to flow more easily, not because the world changed, but because you did. Now, let's look more closely at this idea of stuck energy. This isn't just a metaphor. It's a real thing your body experiences. When emotions like sadness, fear, or anger aren't expressed or released, they can get stored in the body. Over time, this can lead to physical discomfort, stress, or even illness. You might feel tension in your chest, tightness in your shoulders, or an upset stomach that doesn't go away. These symptoms are often your body's way of trying to get your attention. They're signals saying, hey, there's something here that needs to be looked at. But instead of listening, many of us learn to silence those signals. We take medication, distract ourselves, or power through. But the energy doesn't disappear. It builds up. And over time, the discomfort gets harder to ignore. So how do we start to release this stuck energy? The good news is you already have what you need. You don't need anyone else to fix you. The power is inside you, and one of the most powerful tools you have is your breath. When you breathe consciously, not just on autopilot, you start to move energy through your system. You wake up parts of your body and mind that have been asleep. You create space for stuck patterns to loosen and shift. Conscious breathing is simple but powerful. It brings you back to the present moment and helps you reconnect with your body. Another tool you have is touch. When you place your hand on a part of your body that's tense or hurting, not mindlessly, but with intention, you create a connection. You bring your attention and energy there. Combine that with your breath, and you might begin to feel the tension soften, the pain ease, the emotions start to move. Movement is another powerful way to release energy. That can mean dancing in your room, shaking out your limbs, stretching, or simply letting your body move however it wants to. When you stop holding everything in and allow your body to express what it's been carrying, the energy starts to flow again. You might cry, laugh, or sigh deeply, and all of that is good. It means things are moving. As you begin to create space for your body and energy to release and express, you'll notice a shift. You may feel lighter, more spacious inside. You may feel more grounded or more connected. And this isn't because something outside of you changed. It's because you allowed your inner world to come back into balance. But this is just the beginning. These first steps, breathing, touching, moving, are like opening the windows in a house that's been closed for years. Fresh air starts to circulate. Light begins to come in. But the deeper layers, the more powerful shifts come next. And that's where the most important energy of all comes in, love. This isn't love as in romance or affection. This is love as a deep, powerful, healing force. A frequency that transforms everything it touches. When ancient teachers and mystics talked about the most powerful energy in the universe, this is what they meant. Love isn't something you have to earn or chase. It's already inside you, always waiting to be remembered. When you begin to bring love into your healing, not just love for others, but love for yourself, things change faster and more deeply. When you meet your own pain, your own fear, your own stuck places with love and compassion instead of judgment or resistance, they begin to dissolve. You stop fighting yourself. You stop trying to be someone else. You begin to soften, to open. And from that space, new energy, new life, new possibilities can come in. This journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you really are, someone whole, powerful, and deeply connected to life. It's about remembering that the real work doesn't begin outside you. It begins within, and everything you need is already there. Love is a powerful force, but not the kind of love we often see in movies or hear about in songs. We're not talking about romantic love that comes with ups and downs, expectations, jealousy, or the need to be loved in return. This love is much bigger and more universal. It's the kind of love that doesn't depend on another person, a situation, or anything outside of you. It's a deep, steady energy that flows through everything in the universe. It's the energy of life itself. This kind of love is not just a feeling, it's a vibration, a frequency that exists at the highest levels. Think of it like a kind of invisible music playing throughout the universe. And when you tune into it, your whole system, your body, mind, heart, and spirit starts to move in harmony with everything else. It's the frequency that brings balance, peace, and connection. This is the love that spiritual teachers and ancient wisdom traditions have spoken of for centuries. They didn't mean love as just an emotion. They meant it as a force that can heal, guide, and transform. When you begin to connect to this frequency of love, something shifts inside you. You feel more connected to others, more in tune with nature, more at peace with yourself. You stop feeling like you have to fight through life or control everything. Instead, you start to flow. It's like you're no longer swimming against the current. You're carried by the stream of life. And this shift doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. It can happen in complete silence. All you need is your presence, your breath, and your intention. You can sit in stillness, breathe deeply, and simply choose to open your heart. You don't even need to say anything. Just feel it. Let that feeling of love move through you. Direct it inward toward the parts of you that are hurt, confused, or stuck. Or send it outward toward people in your life, even those you struggle with. You can send it to the world, to situations that need healing. And something begins to happen. You'll notice that your thoughts become quieter, your emotions settle, and your body relaxes. That's the power of love working at the energetic level. Love, in this form, is the doorway to real healing. It doesn't require tools, but it can work through them. When you stay in that loving frequency, your energy field becomes stronger and more stable. Over time, you'll feel more balanced, more centered, and more whole. But how do you bring this into your daily life? How do you move from knowing it in your mind to feeling it in your heart and body? That's where the natural elements come in, like water, crystals, sound, and color. These aren't just pretty things. They hold vibrations too. They carry energy that can interact with your own. For example, when you hold a glass of water with both hands and focus on feelings of love, healing, or calm, you're actually changing the structure of that water on an energetic level. Water is sensitive. It can carry your intentions. When you drink that water, your body receives that energy and aligns with it. Crystals work in a similar way. Each type of crystal has its own natural vibration. Amethyst, quartz, citrine, and others can connect with different parts of your energy system. When you hold them with clear intention, especially with love, they become more than just stones. They become tools that help amplify the energy you're focusing on. They act like mirrors and transmitters, reflecting and increasing your inner vibration. Sound is another powerful way to shift your energy. Every sound has a frequency. Some sounds create stress, while others help you relax, open up, and heal. That's why certain music can move you deeply. It's not just about melody, it's the vibration behind it. The same goes for colors. The colors you wear or surround yourself with affect your mood and your energy. Soft blues might calm you. Warm yellows might lift your mood. Even imagining colors in your mind during meditation can influence your energy. These elements don't replace your own inner presence or awareness, but they support it. They help remind your body, heart, and spirit of how to return to balance. They amplify the intentions you're already setting. And when you start using them with love and attention, something powerful starts to unfold. You begin to sense your direct connection to something greater, to the divine, the universe, the source, or whatever name feels right to you. This connection isn't something you have to earn or be taught. It's already there. You don't need a specific religion, tradition, or guru. You don't need to go anywhere or say special words. All you need is to become still, open your heart, and feel. That connection is always present, waiting for you to notice. But before you can fully experience the connection, there's one last thing you must face. It's not outside of you, it's within. It's your own inner shadows, your anger, your envy, your resentment, your fears. When we direct negative thoughts or emotions toward others, we often believe we're sending that energy away from us. But in truth, before that energy ever reaches anyone else, it passes through us. It affects us first. Every thought of judgment, every wish for someone else's failure, every grudge or bitterness, these don't leave your system without leaving a mark. They create chaos in your own energy. That's why people who live in constant negativity often feel tired, sick, or stuck. They think they're affecting others, but they're only hurting themselves. The universe doesn't respond to what you pretend to feel. It responds to your real vibration. You can say nice things. You can act like everything is fine. But if underneath there's pain, resentment, or fear, that's the signal your energy field is broadcasting. And that's the signal the universe responds to. There's no way to fake it. The only way forward is through honesty with yourself. You must clean your inner space. You must face your pain and allow it to heal. You must learn to let go of what no longer serves you. This is the hardest part, and it's where many people stop. But it's also the doorway to everything. When you begin to release your inner blocks and choose to live in truth and love, you step into a whole new level of awareness. You begin to live in alignment. Your thoughts, emotions, actions, and energy all move together in harmony. And when that happens, something truly magical takes place. You awaken your power to self-heal. True healing doesn't come from a crystal or a sound. It doesn't come from a teacher or a book. These things can guide you and support you, but the real healing comes from your own alignment. When your body, mind, and spirit are working together, when your presence, intention, and emotion align, your energy field changes. And with it, your life changes. You stop being trapped by old beliefs. You stop reacting to fear. You become more present, more clear, more whole. You begin to experience life as it really is, not through the filters of your past or your pain, but through the truth of your being. In this state, you don't just feel connected to the divine. You are the divine in motion. Love becomes not just something you feel, but something you are. So if you've made it this far, if these words are reaching something inside you, take a moment and say to yourself, out loud or in writing, I now activate my self-healing power. Say it with sincerity. Say it as a commitment to yourself. That one sentence begins a new chapter. It sets the intention. It moves the energy. And if you feel called to support this message, to help spread this energy, you can. Sharing, commenting, or contributing to this kind of work helps keep it alive. But most importantly, bring this into your life. Practice it. Live it. Let it change you. Because when you start living from love, not just as a feeling, but as a frequency, you become the healing presence the world needs. You become part of the great harmony. And from there, everything begins to transform.